So today, my theme of the talk that I'm going to be giving you is cultivating a good heart. And actually, the heart and the mind are both interchangeable terms. Where there's a good heart or a good mind, it's pretty much the same. So I'm going to now start off with a short mindfulness practice. And short means about 10 to 15 minutes. We're not going to be absolutely strict with time because after all, we have time. We have half an hour. So whatever we do with it, it is half an hour. So I like to lead you to do a practice of getting to know your body, tuning into your mind. How's your mind doing? And even the physical heart. How's the physical heart doing? As opposed to the emotional heart, which is usually felt here and is interchangeable, as I mentioned, with the term mind. So now let's close our eyes and tune into the body. And by taking 3 deep breaths, we are connecting to this body, how it's feeling. What do you notice in the body? Are there any spots that are tight, tense, or what you may call pain, ache? What's the actual sensation? Is it pulling, throbbing, pulsating? Describe it. This is a very good way of befriending with the sensations in your body. Getting to know the sensations is getting to know the body. After all, we are responsible for caring for this body. No one else lives in this body but you. So to care for this body, you need to be tuned in, knowing how the body's feeling, knowing whether it's relaxed or it's tense, whether there are aches or pain, or an itch. These are all alerts to you giving the appropriate attention and care to each part of the body that may be calling out to you for some kindness. So treat pain, itch, whatever sensations as a friendly alert. Our objective is not getting rid of them because they have a role to play, but is to give the area kind attention. And now, letting go of the body, let's tune our attention into the environment. What kind of sounds do you notice? And befriend every sound that you hear. Sounds help us to recognize what is happening. Imagine yourself walking across the street and you can't hear the sound of the horn, the car that we don't see. So sounds play a role. And our ability to hear is a blessing. So tune into every sound and see what are all the different sounds you recognize. And if there's a sound that irritates you, it means that it's a sound that you don't wish for it to be present. You have a negative judgment on the sound. If you can let go of the negative judgment and just treat this sound as neutral, does it change your relationship with the sound? And correspondingly, does it change the experience that you have with the sound? Because any sound that you have a negative judgment on, it would trigger a body sensation. Your heart may beat faster. Your chest may tense up. So notice how easily something can irritate you, aggravate you, annoy you. It is not the sound per se, because if it is, that sound would have the same effect on everyone in your home. But it's your judgment of the sound. And now letting go of all the sounds and tuning in into your breath. Wherever you feel your breath to be. Focusing on this beautiful breath. It's beautiful because it is what's keeping you alive. I always remind myself, without this breath, my body would become a piece of corpse. It will no longer be a living body. So I'm very grateful to the breath for its presence, for as long as the breath and I can hang out together, it means I'm alive. There's nothing in this world more important than the breath. Not even food, because we can do without food for weeks and the body can still live. Not even water, because the body can still live without water for a week. But without the breath, maybe just a few minutes before our brain is dead. So when we put the breath in this perspective, hanging out with the breath becomes easy. And we just want to sit with the breath. Because the breath is so peaceful, so calming. It's undemanding. The breath just gives us life unconditionally. So if your mind is distracted by thoughts, it's because you're not contented with just being here with the breath. The mind is looking for excitement, or it has a habit of going back in history, going to the future, worrying what's going to happen, making comments. So in this practice, you're also getting to know your mind. What are the habits of your mind? What is really making you happy? And what's making you unhappy? And now, before we end this formal mindfulness practice, It's just to reflect, how does your body feel right now? How does the mind feel? And when we open our eyes at the end of the third breath, is to retain this awareness, this heightened awareness into everything we do. That is the point of this formal mindfulness practice, is to have that sense of mindfulness and awareness in everything we do, beyond closing our eyes when we open. So, at the end of the third breath, open your eyes if you haven't yet. So, welcome to this session on cultivating a good heart. And this mindfulness practice helps us to do that, because it's about getting to know how this body, how this mind feel, and to also acquaint ourselves with the habits of the mind. Because the mind and the heart are interchangeable. Is your mind usually filled with positive thoughts, kind thoughts, thoughts about what you can do that will bring delight to your family members, to your friends, to your colleagues? Or are your thoughts about getting back at someone, feeling that you have been taken advantage of? Your thoughts about unfairness, thoughts about being victimized, or the world is unkind to you. Because these thoughts are destructive. They will bring more pain, not just to your life, but also to the lives around you. So cultivating a good heart is about cultivating a mind that's going to be kinder, to be able to let go of the past that is inscribed in the history book. Can't be changed. But what we can change is our judgment of history. Because as long as we judge history as being unfair, then it's hard for us to let go. And therefore, it's really hard to forgive. Letting go doesn't mean we forget, because there's so many fantastic lessons to learn from our history. Our history has enriched us, has made us resilient, has given us an experience in life to be able to take on bigger challenges. So if we can look back in history and say, wow, there is so much I have gained from all these experiences, and see the richness in the experience, then you'll blossom. You feel that your life is such a rich, colorful tapestry, instead of something that's so boring that nothing happens in your life. And to be able to look forward with optimism that everything that we've gone through in life can make us a better person, if we look at the history as fertilizer for our growth, instead of looking at it as poo in our life. So don't look at it as poo. Look at it as fertilizer. The best fertilizers are actually poo. That's what makes trees grow really healthily and produces fabulous flowers that become sweet fruits. And that's what we can do in converting the poop in our life into fertilizers to bear the sweet fruits in our life. And in that process, our hearts are cultivated to be kind, forgiving, giving, and generous. It will also have the ability to be empathetic and compassionate. And with a heart like this, life becomes so much easier to live because we don't carry all that burden of the past. Instead, we carry the gems from the caves of our past, the treasures. So there are many ways of looking at life. We can look at what has gone wrong as cracks, or we can look at them as design, fabulous, artistic design. Yes, it can be painful, and that's because we have certain perspective that life should be smooth sailing. And that's why when we wish somebody Happy New Year, wishing you lots of abundance and good luck and peace and everything, all that good stuff in the new year, I often laugh at that. Because I know in a year, there's going to be ups and downs. Every year has ups and downs. So when we wish people to have everything smooth sailing, to just have happy days, it's totally unrealistic. And it's setting someone's minds up to be shocked by the realities that are unpleasant. What else, if we are prepared, we know that some days are going to be better than other days. It's okay because this is part of nature of life. It's like you can't live every day expecting that it's going to be cool and it's going to be clear and sunny. That's not realistic, is it? Do you wish somebody Happy New Year, may every day be sunny and cool? You know that is totally unrealistic. We know that some days it's going to rain, some days will be stormy, some days will be cloudy, and some days will be clear, and some days will be hot, and some days will be cool. That is life. And even in a day, it is never the whole day that it rains. That's very rare. It may rain in the morning and then it stops. It may rain again in the evening, but it usually doesn't rain continuously, although it may happen, but it's rare. Same with things that happen in our life. So we may go into the office and something doesn't quite go the way we planned it to be. There might even be a very unpleasant meeting that we attend, or we get scolded by someone. But those are just a few moments in a day. If you were an unpleasant meeting, it may be 1 hour of the day. You have 8 hours in a day at work. 1 out of 8 doesn't make it a bad day at work. So even if your car hits another car and has an accident, it is one event in a day that's filled with many events. So you don't let that one car accident ruin your day, or let one argument ruin your day, or worse, let one argument ruin the whole relationship. So in cultivating a good heart means that we put things in the right perspective, that there will be ups and downs, and anything that doesn't go well, it is going to be used as a form of learning, gems in our life that is going to make us wiser, more realistic about how life is. So live with a heart that is kind, that you're not going to get back at people. Instead, you're going to help, you're going to forgive, and you're going to be generous, because so much happiness comes back when we're kind, we're forgiving, and we're generous. And that's how I aspire and cultivate to live my life. And I hope you will too. So I hope this talk gives you some inspiration. And in the meantime, focus on being present, practice letting go of the past, putting judgment aside, and forgive. That's the way to cultivate a good heart. Take care, everyone. Bye.